All right, guys, welcome back. It's probably 2 days later from this footage. When this footage was taken, I'm just getting around to edit it today. Like I said, I have so many video. I took so much video in the past 2-3 days that it's going to be a while till I get it all posted and get back to kind of real time what's going on. But anyway, I wanted to do this video first. I was going to do a different video first, the start of corn planting. If tomorrow's video doesn't make any sense, it's as far as the I had planned on for tomorrow's video to be the first one, but I figured I would do this voiceover of day one here. This is day one of the corn planting here. You can see the fields are limed. They were just limed. You probably saw my video from a couple days ago on the lime spreading. So we're planting basically through this lime. So you can really make out the rows. It made it nice for following the row marker. So a couple things. I want to, in this video, kind of give you guys the total overview of everything that happened this year as far as planting, how everything went, and some of the stuff that was going on. So this was the first day, and he came out here kind of around noon and got started with a brand new corn planter, and you'll probably hear me say that in another video. They had bought a brand new corn planter this year. Not so much that the other one wasn't any good, but they wanted to have one for corn and one for beans, just to be able to make up more time, to cover more area. They have a lot of area they have to cover, and this makes it more efficient for them. So they have this, I believe it's an 8320R John Deere tractor. I could be wrong on the number, and I think they have two of them. They have two of them. They look absolutely identical. They're both four-wheel drive. They both have duals on. And they have 50-inch. I think I saw they were 50-inch rear tires. I've never seen a 50-inch rim before. I only ever noticed 46, but it's a pretty nice machine. So planting itself went well. We got done about 2 days later. One of the issues that we were having with it was a brand new corn planter. I think it was a 1775, and then is it N or NT? I'm not sure. But they went away from the vacuum planter to the finger pickup or finger sweep, whatever you want to call it, style. It is a 12-row. It folds up pretty nice. It has the fertilizer, the pop-up fertilizer system on it. And he had said when he got here that he just thought John Deere went a little bit cheap on the planter. The first issue we were having was it has automatic row shutoffs to shut off so you don't overlap. If there's overlap, then the clutches disengage each row unit, the way I understand it, and you don't overlap and you're not wasting seed. Well, they had stopped working for them, so that wasn't working, and they didn't want to mess around with it because the way the weather was, they had my place to do, they had my neighbor's place, and they had a couple other stops, and they weren't done their wet spots in their valley, so they didn't want to have any downtime. They were just going to plant the way it was. So those clutches weren't working. Little bit of issue with the computer. The computer that basically paints where you're planting, it kind of paints blue on his monitor. It was painting where the width of the planter, just to kind of give you a sense of where you're planting. And there was a real long delay in when that actually started. So it actually made it look like you had skippers all over the field till it actually started working right. So that was another thing. Problem number 3 was we kept having problems with the fertilizer, the row unit fertilizer hoses. They kept popping off. It comes through that fertilizer tank, and then it goes down to each individual disc, and there's like a rubber hose that goes to, it looks almost like an aluminum pipe to go down into the ground. That rubber hose kept popping off 3 or 4 of the units, and it was getting to be an issue. We were looking around for clamps, trying to get it clamped, and still no good. And what ended up happening was on row 12, that fertilizer that was running down, it actually had messed with the sensor, the eye in there to count to make sure the corn is planting, and the computer was basically beeping at us constantly that it wasn't planting. So we got out and we dug up some corn, and we saw that yes, it is planting, and we just figured that it was the eye was dirty from all that liquid fertilizer and all that dust. It just basically had it that it couldn't read it. So it was planting for sure. We did lift the box and check, and everything looked good. So basically we just turned sensor 12 off, so that way the computer wasn't constantly beeping at us while we were planning. It was kind of annoying hearing that thing beep every 5-6 seconds. So I don't know, he had just said it seemed like they really cheaped out on some of the build quality, and he didn't know if it was at the dealer or the factory or whatever. So not to pick on John Deere, I just thought it was interesting to throw that in there. I did watch Jeff Raymond's video when he was talking about his Kinsey planter and problems he was having, and it's kind of universal, I think, with a lot of these farm equipment companies. So anyway, I still don't have the variety that we were planting. I have to get it. I'll see what exactly it was. I know we had 2 different varieties that we planted. There was he had said it was the top of the line hybrid, and he's a Pioneer seed dealer, so I'm going to if he says it's a top of the line hybrid, then I'll just accept that. So I did not get any footage of the soybean planting, and that was actually, it was pretty interesting here. This was like 1-2 in the afternoon. About 6 o'clock at night, 6:30, he left my place to go up to my neighbors to start planting corn up there. And just as he was leaving my place, his son came with the other tractor. Like I say, I think it's another 8320R. Same basic setup with the planter to do beans right away. So the beans and the corn basically went in the same day. Now that bean planter, you've seen it maybe in my past videos way back. It is the vacuum type. It was 30-inch rows, and then it has the inner planter. So we planted our beans on 15-inch rows, and anyway, it was late in the day, and I went up, and he started all the way down in the bottom where I can't really get to with my pickup, and I saw he had his looked like he had his son with him, so I didn't want to bother him. I just left him go. I had other stuff to do too, so I didn't get any footage of soybean planting. I think I just got a little bit as he was leaving. So the beans were, he didn't finish starting at 6:30 at night. He wasn't able to finish until the next day. The next day he came back and finished the soybeans, put in about another half day at my place, and then he went up to my neighbors, and then his dad came back with the corn planter. And because I had some fields going corn on corn, he had to have a different variety of seed in the planter, and it worked out good because up at my neighbor had some soybean ground, and then he was going to do a lot of corn on corn also, so they had to change the seed in the hoppers up at his place, and basically put the corn on corn variety in the planter up there. They finished all his, and then they came back to do mine. So worked out pretty good. It was a pretty efficient operation. So that was the planning there. Trying to think what else was going on with the planter. Like I say, with it being, I don't know, the bean planter, he said he didn't have any problems with. Everything worked out fine. Like I say, 15-inch rows, vacuum type planter. It was dusty, like I said. Even that lime, you could just taste the dust even in the cab. It was a pretty hot day doing this. We had the air conditioner on, so that made it nice, but you could definitely taste all that dust that was coming in. So this planter, his like I said, brand new. When he came to the farm, he had 516 acres on the monitor. That's what they did at their place, and they weren't done. So it was real nice to get kind of a brand new planter going here. It would have been real nice if I would have went up to my neighbors and taken some footage, because they were both planting up there, and they're both tractors and planters were rolling on the same farm, and I didn't bother. Like I just figured it's not really my operation. I didn't want to take too much footage, and I had some other things to do. So as far as the planter itself, that's right, that's what I wanted to talk about. The planter does have the airbag down pressure system on it. They really like that versus the springs. They've done a lot of practice, or they practiced a lot of years now with no-till, and they've done a whole bunch of different things. They no-tilled in rye. This year he said they no-tilled in rye that was waist high, that they had sprayed dead just as a cover crop. And with those airbags, he said it is much better getting the seed in the ground than the spring type planters. One of the things that I noticed too with the airbags is you don't have that recoil. Like if the row unit, the disc hits a rock or something and the spring pops up, it basically pops the unit up in the air, and then you have that recoil action. It's a lot rougher on the planter going through the field. This here with the airbags, basically once it's done flexing, basically all it's going to do is lift the planter out of the ground if you're on top of a rock or something like that. So I don't know, they like the airbags. I used to have a 7000 that you could no-till with, and it had springs on it. They said they found if you didn't change the springs every year, they'd be wore out, and it wouldn't be you wouldn't be getting a consistent stand. So anyway, that's a long way to say it has the airbag system on it. So it's a pretty neat planter. Oh yeah, that was the other thing. He had to use row markers to plant with. Now the tractor does have the GPS and auto steer, and there's something with the new planter that was really making the computer a little bit buggy. The way I understood, the way he explained to me. So like I say, they had that lag, and it kept looking like he was putting skippers everywhere, and we just went old school with this. A brand new planter, and we were planting old school with row markers and no shutoffs on the rows. So it just kind of is what it is. So anyway, like I said, I wanted to make this video kind of to set the stage of everything that went on as far as the planting. Kind of give you guys a little bit of a background. This is all going to be just this cab footage. Basically, I just turned my camera on and just left it run while we were talking. So I had planned on doing a voiceover and wanted to kind of give the overall story of everything. So as far as the bean planting, I wasn't there for any of it. I don't know. I asked him how it went when he was pulling out. He said everything went good. He said he had no problems. He had some wet spots that he had to deal with, which I understand. I know right where those were. So we're getting near the end of this video here. I think I have one more clip here. So it made for some real nice footage planting in that freshly spread lime. It wasn't hard to see where you were and where you weren't. So like I said, this is year 2 of true no-till. No tillage tools in this field. The last metal that was drugged through this soil was the planter last year. So we'll see how it goes. It's already, I think, made a difference as far as erosion, so we're gonna just keep up with it and see how it does. 5 years or so, we'll see what we got. Thanks for watching, guys. See you tomorrow. Enjoy tomorrow's video.